time for some physical therapy.
Motion detection recording. Over 10.
So, just got done with physical therapy. And, gotta come back tomorrow.
Continuous recording will now start.
For another appointment. So, being in a chair, I go to the VA a lot, or doctors in general. Fortunately, I'm 100% plus disabled through the VA. They pay for all my prescription, but there's a ton of Americans in this country who have to pay full price for their prescriptions, including the majority of veterans who get taken care of at the VA. Now, it's cheaper for those veterans still than it is for regular Americans. I'll give them that much. But it's still not anywhere close to what it needs to be. Not anywhere close to what it needs to be. I just gotta say, there's only a couple people, a couple politicians who are trying everything they can to help us, and they keep getting shut down left and right because no one wants to listen to them. They just want to listen to Fox News or Breitbart or Alex Jones or Tommy Lahren, and they don't actually inform themselves. They don't go and check out the sources. Did everybody fail English class? Or did we skip the day where we went over credible sources? Do you know what a credible source is? Do you know how to find them? Do you know how to quote them? Do you know how to list them? I don't understand. What happened? Why do we just ignore that? Why do we just take anybody's word for fact? It's their opinions, people. Facts and opinions are two different things. Here's a fact. Bernie Sanders is trying to get lowered prescription drugs for everybody. That's a fact. Let's talk about it. So here we are at abetterhealthcareplan.com. I watched an infomercial on Facebook and it brought me to this site. After reviewing this site, I had to talk about this. So you've heard of the Affordable Care Act, or Obamacare as Republicans like to call it, and that's just to demonize the Affordable Care Act and confuse people. You can visit if you want, but it just redundantly shows you the video that I watched on Facebook to bring you here in the first place. I don't understand it. Anyways, as you can see, it says a new path forward. House Republicans have a plan to get there. Our Congress is fighting for us, lowering costs, providing more control and more choices to pick a plan that meets our needs, not a plan that Washington mandates. It asks you for your name, your email, your zip code, and that's it. That's the whole website. I just want to go back up to one thing they say up here. Our Congress is fighting for us, lowering costs. Okay, let's see about that. There was a bill introduced by Bernie Sanders on the 11th of January. And this bill was to establish a deficit-neutral reserve fund relating to lowered prescription drug prices for Americans by importing drugs from Canada. Now, Canada pays up to 20 times less than Americans for the same exact drugs, which would result in lowering the cost of prescription drugs for millions of Americans. Now, there were 12 Republicans who voted for this. These guys right here. These guys all voted yes. These guys said, we want to help Americans get cheaper prescription drugs. Chuck Grassley is in there. John McCain, Rand Paul, Lion Ted Cruz himself from Texas. And that bill could have passed had it not been for the 13 Democrats who went ahead and voted against it, including this guy right here. Fake progressive Cory Booker, who took over $385,000 from pharma companies. You gonna tell me this isn't related to money? Back to my point though. Look at those nays. There's 39 Republicans on this list. 39 Republicans voted against lowering prescription drugs for Americans. That includes my state's Senator Marco Rubio, Mr. Talking Points robot, controlled by his donors, Marco Rubio. Once again, it's up to you guys. You can choose to allow this to happen or do your own research. Find out what the truth is. Do you want to follow the Republicans who are already lying, saying that they're voting to lower costs? They're obviously not. And they have no plan to replace and assure millions of Americans won't lose their insurance. Or we can stick with the Affordable Care Act for right now and use it, fix it, and make it the stepping stone it was meant to be a single-payer healthcare system. I'm going to make another video about that. But as you can see, you can do your own research. You can keep track of these people. You can hold them to account. You can get their phone numbers, their emails. You can call them. They hate being called. It ties up their phone lines. If you saw your people on that list, call them. Tell them that you don't like the fact that they voted against this. As always, guys, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, go ahead and leave some comments down below. If you want to go ahead and donate to my GoFundMe account, it's linked down below too. I left everything in the description below as far as the websites that I used. And have a great day, guys.